Beijing says Western media reports that it's deployed anti-aircraft missiles to a disputed island in the South China Sea are, quote, nothing but hype. Washington says if missiles have in fact been positioned on the island, it will be more evidence that Beijing is militarizing the region. A lot to talk about, and for all of it, we turn it over to CCTV's Roy Rottenberg, who joins me in the studio. Roy.
Asier, the U.S. Pentagon says it has evidence that China's deployed surface-to-air missiles on Yongqing Island. It's also known in the West as Woody Island. Now, Washington says it has satellite images, commercial satellite images, taken in the last few days showing HQ-9 missile batteries. Experts say those are capable of engaging multiple combat aircraft up to 200 kilometers away. Now, China's defense ministry wouldn't say if there's been any new deployment, but it did confirm that its military had anti-aircraft missiles on the island, and the foreign ministry in Beijing defended its right to do so.
China's move to set up limited, necessary self-defense facilities on the islands and reefs where Chinese troops are stationed is in line with the right of self-defense endowed by international law to any sovereign state. Therefore, there is nothing wrong about it.
Now, Yongqing is part of an existing chain of islands claimed by a number of different players. The U.S. is not one of them, but Washington has been vocal in its criticism of Beijing's activities in the region and again expressed its concerns on Wednesday.
My hope is that China will realize that it is important to try to resolve the jurisdictional issues of the South China Sea, not through unilateral action, not through force, not through militarization, but through diplomacy and by working with the other countries and claimants and trying to resolve these differences.
So, Roy, when President Xi was here last year, he said that China would not be militarizing. He said he would be, there's a quote here, there will be no militarization of the region.
He did, and then in Beijing, the foreign ministry elaborated on those remarks, saying that the building and maintaining of military facilities for limited defense does not amount to militarization. John Kerry, though, appears to have a different understanding, and the head of U.S. Pacific Command, Admiral Harry Harris, on Wednesday, he said if the missile deployment were verified, the U.S. would interpret that as China going against the pledge made here in Washington. China has repeatedly insisted that the U.S. is not a party to the dispute and has accused the U.S. of further agitating tensions by providing military aid to countries that are. A package worth hundreds of millions of dollars to countries like Vietnam and Malaysia to boost, quote, maritime security was announced by President Obama last year at the ASEAN summit. China says the rules have to apply to everyone.
Non-militarization serves the interests of all parties, but non-militarization should not target a single country or have double or multiple standards. Non-militarization in the South China Sea needs the joint efforts of the relevant countries inside and outside the region.
Lots of speculation as to why this is happening now. Asier, some asking if China is trying to better position itself for a diplomatic deal, perhaps as part of anti-China rhetoric in the U.S. elections. No doubt not an issue that's going away anytime soon.
You're absolutely right about that. CCTV's Roy Rottenberg, thank you.